Good evening and welcome back to Goosebumps HorrorTown playthrough. This is Grim here, and we're going to be playing our first part to the Christmas update. The third one, the 12 Screams of Christmas. This was an update that was long since coming, and this is the title screen for this game. And I'm going to now show you without the wording and everything like that, and I have to be really do dig these cover arts that the people have done. It seems like looking at ArtStation, I think that's what the site is called, a lot of artists usually tends to post their works, and I've seen that there's some who've worked for Pixowl start to kind of do that there. So it's interesting to see their work up in full view to kind of show off, and really digging it. I kind of think I'll probably comment in the game as well how creepy and looking everything is, but needless to say, yeah, there's not going to be too much to say on this part. Namelessly, I'm just going to be talking about the first part like we usually see it, so we're going to do that right now. But before we do that, I might as well throw this in, so, well, I'll let you see it for yourself. I also want to point out that this update was also the first one where the title for Pixowl's logo has actually changed. It's pretty subtle, but this is the official logo for them now. They've changed it since October. I think I mentioned it briefly about this, but this is the first time we actually see this new change cleaning in this game in particular for their game. So, the typical branding. So, anyways, as I was saying, on the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me. Apparently a new update. The 12 Screams of Christmas is finally here. 3 times now for this third Christmas. 23rd update, and now we're finally getting this going on here. Now, there's a bunch of stuff to talk about, and unfortunately, I'm going to try to be my best because, unfortunately, whatever I'm getting right now, I still have, so hopefully I'm going to have to change up some coughing stuff here, but apologies. Alright, let's see what happens. Alright, 50%, so far so good. Yeah, and this is what I'm fearing. Apparently there is a glitch going on where the game's kinda freezing. Yep, as I feared, I'm one of the poor unfortunate soul who can't play the game because there's a error going on at the moment. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but I'm assuming by tomorrow morning, which is going to be the 10th, it should load up fine. Now, I have looked through other people who have successfully gone in there that this update's going to be the longest one we have thus far. It seems to be like 5 weeks when it started, so that's taken us all the way to like the middle of January. I have an idea why that might be, but hopefully the next clip here will be me actually being in the game. So, fingers crossed. Yeah, as you can see, the game had a big problem. For the first day it came out, not a lot of people could go in. Few people couldn't go in. There were some that could, like I showed off, people seen it was 5 weeks. And quite frankly, there was nothing that anybody can do. It's weird to see, and quite frankly, a lot of weird shenanigans going on there and back. Something you'll also notice is, the next day, I finally got in, and I'm about to show you that clips now. One thing I want to point out is you might look at the video and think it looks a bit blurry. Like, what's going on? Why is the quality so low? Well, the best describe it to you. For some reason, my screen didn't decide to record horizontally. It recorded vertically. So the best way to describe it is here's an image to show you what this looked like. Yeah, so this is what I had to do. I had to zoom in everything to the gameplay, meaning that the pixelated is just going to be overblown. So that's why it's going to look so blurry. Unfortunately, this was the case due to difficulties and the weird way that my camera recording thing didn't want to load in properly. So unfortunately, we're going to have to go through that route. But for now, I decide to just, bear with it. It's not too bad and unbearable to watch, but just know that for the first little bit, it's not nice. But anyways, yeah, let's now finally go into my first impressions of this game while I was still sick, so bear with me. Alright, second take. Let's see if this is going to allow me to kind of come in here now. Let's hope. Fingers crossed. This works. Hey, it worked, finally. Right, so I guess we finally got one of our packs here, which is the Christmas Spirit Pack. Now, from what I understand, this had some issues for some players. It seems like I got both of these here, so hopefully I'm able to. And then daily bonus, so... and there's the Christmas Spirit pop-up. I'm assuming you're going to get the other one, so I guess let's talk about the Christmas Spirit bundle. Alright, so Mr. Marcus, 500. You know what? This is sad that seems to be the cheapest premium character we have gotten so far. Actually, no, I lied. I think Evan was cheap, but this is like the second cheapest one, right? And that's kind of sad. We have the Mayfield Bazaar, which is very thing to me, like very touching my heart. However, I know that this is probably also going to be in another bundle as far as the weekend thing goes, because I know for sure when it comes to this, it's weird. So let's see here. We got, oh yeah, and then the Mayfield Bazaar is like so much. I'm hoping that it's no items needed for that, because I think that's going to be an issue, but let's see here. So I got third screen, fourth screen, oh yeah, no, fifth screen. So I'll talk about the gimmicks with these. It seems like the prices are fine. Got some of the supplies here, got some cash, some currency, and whatnot. So let's see if I'm able to buy any of these. Fingers crossed. So anyways, the 12 Screams of Christmas. A holly jolly feeling is surprisingly filling the streets of HorrorTown. Is everyone just happy to say goodbye to 2020? Oh, I am. I'm 100% wanting to say goodbye to 2020. It was garbage. Sorry. Either way, it seems like Mr. Piccolo will get his chance to make the 12 Screams of Christmas happens after all. Too bad he's chosen Marcus's mansion as a location. Also, I'm really digging the currency this time around is like a candle, and there's like a flaming skull there. Alright. Yeah, so creepy face 12 Scream Christmas. So, I'll put a pop-up here. When it first came out, like Wednesday, yesterday, it was like 5 weeks. So this is the longest we have gotten an update for. If I'm not mistaken, 5 weeks, that's probably 35 days. So, I think that's the longest an event has gone on for. It might be close to the Haunted Halloween. I have to double check, but I think as far as we can concern, this is the longest we're going to get. Despite the point, yeah, there's a reason why I think this is as long as it's going to be. The Crafting 101 is going to be interesting when I talk about it. Long story short, I think this is not only the last update for this year, but I feel like this is going to be the last long, limited time content we're going to have for now. I think it is going to come back, but I think after this update, they're going to be focusing in on, I think, permanent stuff until it gets to a certain point when it gets up to level 50. And then I think after that, then they're going to do limited time stuff. So after this, we're going to get a nice long break after the year of non-stop limited time content, which is good for me. I can rest finally, but at some point, I'm also going to miss it. Also, it's real creepy, interesting with the design there with the dirty nutcracker, because it reminded me of snow, dirt. Anyways, I'm going on long enough, but I'm just trying to indulge here. Alright, so get used to me coughing, by the way. Unfortunately, I'm still under the weather. Not as bad as I was, but I'm still lingering with something. Play a new animation, craft new items, play a new scene. And I certainly do love the art that they designed for the title screen. Especially Marcus is just so creepy looking. And yes, the new animation, that is Susie Snowflake. I've been shutting my mouth for a while because of this scenario. And interesting fact, if you look at my Attack of the Christmas Presents, which in itself, also, and like I'm going to bring this up a bunch of times, but long story short, there is a quest line with Attack of the Christmas Present with Holly Jolly holiday nightmare type of deal with Mrs. Dark. And they mention of what the special's called. That's actually a nod to a particular user who did a review writing in the book. And it's like Fear Point website. Again, if you go, I'm going to go more in depth when the Attack of the Christmas Present special comes out. But as a nod, basically just saying that, yeah, this is actually something interesting and cool to note. So anyways, the CD items have returned. So before we start, I might as well show you what it looks like when you're new to the game, what these items cost. So I'm going to insert this in here now. Alright, so I'm back, and this is what it's going to be looking like. As you can see, a lot of the game is pretty much the same. Like, you get to see the prices and everything like that. For the most part, they're doable. Not a lot of stuff here is, like, expensive. Not a lot of this stuff isn't expensive, except for the main characters and whatnot. But, but that is what you're going to be expecting. So, yeah, anyways, I'll let my old self come in to tell you otherwise. So, anyways. Alright, so you're back. So, it seems like we got some old items from the past, namely from Attack. Snowman's family stacked gifts, elf stock decoration, red spotlight, which, by the way, it's a horrible background for it because you hardly see, there's nothing there. Green spotlight, white spotlight, Christmas lights, red and blue. Man, this is going to be bad. Nutcracker, the candy arcs. So that's the end of the... what do you call it? Not the Christmas presents. Yeah, the Christmas presents. And now we're going into my event, the Shop Till You Drop Dead. So the Mayfield Bazaar. I'm assuming that you can also get the Christmas throne. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm going to guess it's going to be possible with the other one. Ice Willow, Gingerbread Couple, Holiday Street Lamps, the Goosebumps Kiosk, it's back. Mistletoe Garden Swing, the Peppermint House. Reggie's Manor is back, so for a limited time you can buy him just like how you did with Santa, so that's something. And here comes the new item. So, Mr. Marcus's tomb. Holly Jolly Shop. I call it a shoppy because, look, that's an old way to say shop. But, I don't know. I'm just going to call it the Holly Jolly Shoppy. But yeah, this is the Christmas shop, and oh no, $70. Okay, so Mr. Marcus is the easy one to get, and Susie, on the other hand, is going to be more needed, so great. Mr. Piccolo Studio, so he's available as a freemium character, $8,400. So that's going to be okay. The Gronk display. So this is actually... oh, so he didn't want me to... okay, so he doesn't want me to show me anything there, so that's nice. So let's ignore that happening. Yeah, so the Gronk is actually a spawn, which is interesting. Okay, okay. Alright, I know what's going on here. This event is so glitchy. I'm sorry. Man, you can tell I'm not feeling well because I'm not getting irritated. So I'm going to try to be as quick as possible. Sorry about this. So the menus are not working properly. I'm not sure why, but it seems like that's the case. So, yeah, so those are the characters anyways. I got a frozen pawn. So here's the gimmick. So this is called the 12 Screams of Christmas, right? So there is going to be from first scream all the way to 11th scream, right? So this is the first scream, which is a Santa, the dead Santa coming out. The second scream, which is this weird ghost. Third scream, which is a candle. Fourth scream is like this weird group ghost. Fifth scream, apparently a drunken snowman. The sixth scream is literally, if you thought Krampus was for Mayfield, well, here he is. Here's the Krampus from the movie. Seventh scream is a dead reindeer. Eighth scream is a statue that looks suspiciously familiar to the Hatbox Ghost. Ninth scream is this weird
Sleigh. 10th Scream is the snowman that looks and reminds me of the statue from the Beware of the Snowman update, like last year in January. The 11th Scream, which is the Ghost Rider. So let's see, what is the 12th Scream prize? It is a Christmas tree. It doesn't look scary. I actually am going to tell you that there's a reason for that. From what I understand from this, there is an animation with this tree, I think, and it's going to be with ghosts. So I'm looking forward to getting this thing and finding out what's going on here. So here's our items. So Holly Jolly tapes. So we need the Nutcracker workshop, so that's our thing. Spirit candles from the workshop. The Ghost Cage workshop, and then we got the Rat King. Okay, so that's funny, the Rat King, because if you don't know, if you look up Rat King, there's a reason why he has multiple heads. It's because there is a really nasty condition that rats may end up having their tails entangled into like a knot, causing them to be stuck at one another. So you have these groups of rats with their tails snagged together. They call that the Rat King. It's tragic and sad, and it's awful. But yeah, that's why you see multiple heads of a Rat King, because that's what it's there for. Don't know why it's named after that, but there you go. Right, so yeah. So I see the Santa and Mayfield, and there's a reason for that. Apparently, this Christmas, we get not one but two books this time: The Attack of the Christmas Present and the Shop Till You Drop Dead. So that's interesting. So that's going to be fun. And something even more interesting, if we see here, this is the quest line for the 12th Scream of Christmas. And look, finally, borders! Something I complained about so much, and now they finally added it in here. And yay, we finally got it back. Also, something of note, you'll notice that apparently... Yeah, so this is the Holly Jolly pack with Susie and the Gronks. That's the other thing, too. So not only does Holly Jolly Holiday come back with a character, but we also have a new story, which is Don't Sit on the Gronks. And these two are adorable. I'm going to say that right now. I've seen these animations, and Susie basically looks like if Pippi Longstocking and SpongeBob had like mixed together, because the animations are just so out there. I am terrified to see what goes on here. So anyways, we got all that stuff here. So this is the promenade. You may also notice that a lot of houses... The land is so dry. It looks like, you know what this looks like? This looks like, it's like Christmas. Like, you know how snow usually falls down and then it melts, like it gets warm up so it melts the snow, but there's still enough there that kind of lingers. That's what this feels like, is like this here. So this is the type of weather we got. And yeah, okay, so we got a lot of items for the holiday thing, which I'm going to have to look into more in that. But yeah, so I know I'm escaping the avoidant. So there's two lands that have now opened up. I think it's these two here. Yeah. So thank God they did this. These two lands actually require there's two scenes, and they're very easy to get as far as cast goes. Right? Yeah, so that's not going to be a problem for these two here. You just have to get the items, and then you need to get the Tenderness Pendalium. So we got that going on for us. So there's that. So, yeah, and the reason for that, by the way, I'll go back here, the Beast Essence, the reason for that is because if we look into the thing here, should be around. Yep, there it is. The Forbidden Bunk is finally here, and this whole thing's glitched for now. But yes, the Forbidden Bunk is now being able to buy. Now, when it first came out, apparently the Forbidden Bunk had this glitch where you can buy it for 250,000 of the Goosebucks, which is an error. It actually was supposed to be coins. So I think they fixed that. So now, instead of having to pay a ridiculous amount for a stupid item, now you get to pay for it reasonably. So I'm glad that's the case. So thank you for that. So that's it from there. Okay, so apparently Susie is a hero. All right, that's odd, but okay. We got some snow going on. Sam doesn't have any snow, so that's nice. Apparently, Courtney doesn't have any snow, so that's nice. Let's see, do we have any snow? No. Okay, so any of these new characters don't have snow on it. So, okay, I guess they didn't get enough time for that. But apparently the new houses, like Mr. Piccolo, he has a Christmas stuff going on here, which is nice. Mortman, Dark, so we got stuff here. Reggie's back with the neighbors, so that makes sense. I think the reason Reggie's here is because of the fact that you have to get the 12 screams. Alright, so just double checking here. And then, I guess, supplies. Just want to make sure you can buy anything for now. I don't think you can. No, it doesn't look like it, so okay. So I'm going to leave it at that for now. I'm going to have to look at all this stuff here, because there's a bunch going on. I don't think the map has changed as far as... Okay, so they've changed it slightly. They've cleared this land up a bit, so the interesting weird stuff is no longer there. Oh, hello. Okay, so there's now a new cliffed area. Interesting, okay. Alright, interesting. So they have changed this slightly, but not by much. Okay, so I guess they're trying to make it as flat as possible, but keep things a little bit interesting. Again, this is whole not final until everything is finally done and over with, but yeah. Alright. Yep, no Christmas presents, unfortunately. Instead we get this. I guess I'm not gonna complain too much because of the whole, like, you should be thankful for what you get, right? Because there's a lot of stuff to talk about, right? But still, it's gonna be like, oh boy. So, right. Let's go to the promenade now. It's long enough, so let's go ahead and see. This is the Nutcracker Workshop. So this is going to be on its own thing, right? Its own thing, which I'm going to have to talk about. Holly Dolly shape. So this is going to be the easy item to get. So Christmas cards and the Santa toy bag. These items are going to be back. Curly has some tasks. That's nice. So the Holly Jolly tapes are going to be easy to get. Seems like that's going to be the case here. Susie's Joy, so you need... Okay, so we need this and this again, so I guess that makes sense. Flora's Doll. We need... So we need the Marcus Mansion, and then we need a Gronk plush. Okay, so what's going on here? What do I need for the final... Oh, no. Okay. So... Okay, so just looking at the Flora's plush, doll. So we need the scenes as well as this, so that's going to be fine. Mouse toy, which we're going to need both this, and then I'm going to have to turn on the Annihilator 3000 toy area. That's going to be interesting. Haunted Socks. I don't think... Yeah, so the Haunted Socks isn't... I think it's not an item we need for the event. No, we do not. Okay, so this is one of those items that you have to craft anyways, but not to worry about. Which is good, because it has the stupid gnome pipes, which I hate. You need one of them, but still, one is too much. The gnomes need to be fixed, man. I'm going to say that right now. Alright, the Humbug. Get it? Because it's a candy, but it's also a bug, so that's fun. So we need a Scallop Jewel, which just seems to be easy. Cockroach, and then we need another Gronk. So you do need the Gronk scene as well. So Gronk scene seems to be easy enough, maybe, and the other one not so much. I'm gonna be... Alright, so Spirit Candles. Oh no. So we got this, and then we have to deal with this bull. Great! Okay, cool. So it seems like we're gonna need a spirit board a lot. So this is gonna be a pain in the... It might be a pain. Let's find out. Hopefully it's not, but I have a feeling it's going to be. which is sad. The spirit board. Yeah, so we got these scenes. I hate the fact that we have to deal. I get what they're trying to do with trying to incorporate all these scenes here, but some of these scenes just suck when it comes to the drop rates. I'm going to have to look at the Crafting 101 and see exactly if this is possible. Because I'm looking at this right now, and it seems like it might be plausible, but from a first impressions, this is going to be garbage. Because one of the other things, too, you need the Haunted Shopping gift bag in order to get the Rat King, which means that you have to, either two things. Either you have to save enough money to get the Mayfield Bazaar from last year, or you could buy it through a bundle with There's a Shop Till You Drop Dead, which I feel like if you're going to do that instead. It's going to save your life a lot easier because it will come with all the characters you'll need for this thing. But if you're going to go by yourself, you're going to need... I'm going to say you're probably going to need Reggie for this because last I checked, he was going to probably be dropping a lot more chance for this. So this is great. They're really going to make me work for this, huh? I'm not going to make this any easier than it should be. Here's the tacky Santa Claus workshop. I don't know what's going on here. I guess Susie must have decorated the place enough. And there is the Marcus mansion. Alright, I'm kind of fearing for this, so fingers crossed. So these two, I think it's Ned and Abe Marcus here. Coined 30%. Oh, great. So you do need both of them. 35, 35. So if I do get both of them, let's see here if my math is correct. So that would be 60, 70. So that'd be 100%. So if I just get the one, then that'll be 65. So even if you were to get one of these, it'll be 65%. So, great. So this is going to be an interesting talk when it comes to this event. That's great. That's fantastic. Really fantastic. Great. Absolutely wonderful. I'm so glad. I'm only hoping that the tree is going to be worth it because I've heard and I know there's supposed to be an animation with it. I'm hoping there is an animation with it because if it is, then I will be happy with it. But if not, then this is going to be a pain. Now, I'm going to have to look deeper into exactly if this is plausible or not, depending. But because there's so much time, it feels like they're probably going to be easy to get. And even if not, they could extend it a bit. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see how this goes. But on the first time, I'm kind of scared. I'll be honest. I'm kind of nervous because part of me likes where this is going. But the other part of me is terrified at the same time. Alright, so I'm going to try to remember exactly what's going on here as far as... So the books aren't available as of yet, so one of these books are going to be available soon. So here it is, the 12 Screams of Christmas. No. Let's see what this has to say. So I can't open it now. So 12 Screams of Christmas. So you need to be level 10 in order to actually play this event this time. Join Mr. Piccolo's quest for the perfect location to play the 12 Screams of Christmas. Okay. Open it up. So there's 12 to this quest. Very catchy. So the 12. Let me guess. Each update, each quest, I'm going to have to get one of the first scream, like each Scream of Christmas, huh? I'm going to give you that's the guess. And the last one's going to be get the 12th Scream. And I'm guessing there's going to be quest lines for... Mr. Piccolo is probably going to be within this quest line, so that means there's going to be a quest line with Susie and Marcus. That's what I'm thinking it's going on here. Mr. Piccolo's get the mayor's green light to finally give shape to the 12 Screams of Christmas in HorrorTown. Meet his new friend, Susie Snowflakes, oh dear God no, who turns out as a perfect assistant to find the spookiest location. Find out what's inside the Marcus mansion in this most wanted Goosebumps horror adventure. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean the most wanted Goosebumps horror adventure. MONST. I think you've accidentally put an N near most. But I get what you're getting at. So this is one of the special books to the Most Wanted series. What's the grand prize? The Ghostly Partners. Okay, so I see what they're doing here. So it's like a Christmas ghetto. It's a Christmas camping fire with the pictures of both these three characters, and it's a nice little decoration. I'll give it that. I don't know where to put it, but I like the fact that it looks like it's part of the house and they kind of ripped off, and that's the only thing that's surviving. Interesting. Okay, so no, I don't want that again. Quick glance. Oh, okay, so they've actually changed the background a little bit to make it look more interesting. So it's not just plain purple. It's now nicely colored. So Mortman, Lucy, Dustin, Brooke, Marty. Mrs. Marr has nothing, so that's interesting. Mayor has something. Mrs. Dark, of course. Then the main characters, of course. So now we're going to get to Curly. Yep, he's going to be required. Yep. Okay. So, RB Faraday, Thalia, Chameleon's no longer going to be available. So let's just see what is their full. Okay. Wow. So that's not really great drops as far as items go. So let's just quickly go into seeing. I go more in depth with the actual characters in this next part here, but let's see. RB Faraday. Okay. So he's way over there. Can I? Okay, hold on. Click this. So he gives me a little robot. The Frederick camera, spyglass, zoom. Okay, so some of these characters won't have a lot of stuff going on for them, but I think it's going to be like that until we finally get something good. Thalia, which I'm surprised she has nothing because, whatever. So we got that, marbles, that. Okay, so I guess not too bad as far as items go because she doesn't drop, she drops some unique items that not a lot of characters do, so I'll give it that. And let's see Mr. Chameleon, what does he drops? Fingerprints, this, that, and okay, so you drop crappy stuff too. Wow, okay, thanks. Thanks a lot. So it'll be interesting with Drool, Vanessa, Crystal, Curly, and all that stuff, what they drop as far as things go. These are going to be the last few characters that are going to be interesting, unique stuff as far as this date goes and all that and more. And I think that's about it for my first impressions as far as I know. I do not think I am missing anything out as far as information and stuff goes, I'm going to assume. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to Slappy's to end it off. And it's going to be interesting to see whether or not Slappy has changed because, let's find out. Okay, never mind. I can't go to Slappy's at the moment. There's a reason for that, I think. It's because there was a contest, and I'm going to bring this up in November. There was a contest that they said, oh, show us what your best part of HorrorTown is. And if you win, not only do you get money, but your town will be the new Slappy town. I guess after many, many videos of making fun of Slappy and his awful town, we're now going to have some good quality as far as things go. And there was a winner. It was, I believe, I have to look at more exactly what it is. I'll put the name here right now. So we're going to probably see their town fully available as soon as this update's over. I think that's why it's no longer here at the moment. Because they're getting it set up because they don't want to update it again. So they're going to update it once. Because I feel like after this, there's going to be a little bit of brief period. So anyways, I'm going to leave it off with that. I'm going to now rest my voice. And we're going to continue off now to where this goes.
The 12 Screams of Christmas. Finally, this year is coming to an end. But better yet, Christmas is coming. Drool, do you know what that means? Presents.
Oh, Master, you didn't have to.
Don't be silly, boy. I didn't buy you anything. But seems like the mayor's already on it.
I'm sorry, Curly, but I think that's the wrong it's. It looks like that's Mayor. It is already on it. It should be ITS, but all right, you know, grammar. It's what it is. Poor Drool. Oh, no, by the way, poor Drool. He's not getting any presents.
She's bought something for me?
Of course not. But old Mr. Piccolo will be able to do his silly play at last.
Oh, finally, at last. What was it? Since a year since we teased this? Since I teased this? It's finally coming. Mr. Piccolo's finally here.
Oh, I don't care about all that. All I wanted was a bone or some Christmas pudding. Who's Piccolo anyway?
Good question for another time. So expand the promenade, do research on the Marcus family, and obtain Christmas cards. Yeah, the Christmas cards. Remember them? Yeah, they're back for some reason. And it's weird how, and then she has a new one called Act Strangely, which I'll show off. It's a new animation in particular. But do research. This one was based off of the animation from last year, which is the 12 Screams of Christmas, where I had Lucy read to a teddy bear, and I'll go more in depth with that again when they do the Shock Till You Drop Dead revisited special. I kind of touched base on it during my coverage of the game last year, or 2019, the end of. But yeah, anyways, it's more or less that. But hey, yes, finally we're here. We're up to this point. And oh, what's this? Ooh, looks like they changed the drops for that to be that of the 24-hour bad luck cookies. I'm going to be utilizing that for some currency. But yes, we're going to do that. Anyways, I'll just show you this here. I'm not going to zoom in just yet because, again, this is an old animation. I'm going to show it improperly when it comes to the other game. But yeah, this is what it looks like. Right, so let's go here. So let's see. He can do head juggling, camouflage, like these are the normal ones before. Yeah, so these are just the things he drops. This time around, I think I'm going to go with depth in the 101. And it looks like the items he drops does help, but it's not really there. Oh, and by the way, yes, trick-or-treating is back. That was absent the last update, but now it's back here again. What's interesting, though, is that there's a new animation. The cheering at the parade. What? Oh. I think they need to change the wording, but anyways, you do need the frozen pond. I'll show that off during the quest line at some point, but, whew, yes. Cheering at the parade at the frozen pond. I think they need to change the wording on that, but, oops. Anyways, we're going to have them juggle, so because we need to get some cards. We're going to find out who else can also give us some cards. Drool, of course. So we have skateboarding, wiggling, digging up trouble, and nap time. Unfortunately, no trick-or-treating for him as of yet, so skateboarding it is. And we've seen this already. But yeah, finally, Christmas is here since the month of love, according to when this video gets uploaded. But, oh well, it's 2020 still, man. We'll pretend about that. And this is Vanessa. This is her stuff. She doesn't really, like, she helps a bit with some of the stuff, mostly with the Flores doll and the mouse toy. Of getting them easier without having to craft them in there. But, you know, and then we get Crystal, and she has pretty much the same thing, except I think she has one more benefit, which is, yeah, she gives us the stockings, which, again, it doesn't really need it for the crafting, so it's just kind of there. But hey, one thing I will state with those things is, and we got Make a List, of course, there. But, again, I'll go... my crafting 101 for this particular part of the video, it will go more in depth. You've probably already seen it before if you've played through during this update, so that's nothing new. But again, this whole thing is just kind of like looking at everything and going forward. But yeah, oh yeah, and then there's this one, Being Susie, so this is interesting. Oh, really? Okay, well, I'm curious, what is this Being Susie all about? But then we have to go shopping around town, which is what we've seen before. But yeah, let's see what this Being Susie is about. If you're familiar with the Attack of the Christmas Present animations of her kind of in the Christmas getup, then you might see this looking familiar. Yeah, so she's kind of doing this in front of the Marcus's mansion place, and you're wondering, why is that there? It's gonna make sense in the quest line, but needless to say, oh boy, this is gonna get a little bit interesting with the Okay, if you're familiar with the Holly Jolly Nightmare story, whatever you call it, oh dear, there's a lot of stuff here. Oh yeah, and the View Marcus Mansion videos. I mean, okay, like, what kind of videos are we talking about here? Like, are they diaries? Are there, like, little documentaries talking about this? Like, it makes me kind of curious, but anyways. He has his animation called Throwing Snowballs. This is it here. I will show this more off during the, Attack of the Christmas Presents, zooming in on that. I think that's going to be the next one that's going to be coming up within the video upload line during this time. Of course, Reggie actually drops us some items. However, they consider this being more of the shop to drop, so I don't know. It's very strange. Again, I'm lucky that it didn't pop up with the other one, because that's going to be shared for other things. But anyways, let's go to Brooke, because she is useful, because she's delivering school newspapers, so that's the only thing she got going on. Interesting how Brooke is getting involved now as we're speaking this. As far as updates goes, we got Murray, so what does he do exactly? Let's see, opening present before Christmas. Alright, well, that's not a very nice thing to do, but that's the only thing he can do. So, yeah, okay. So, I guess you can keep on opening up them presents. Poor Grandma. You know, she tried, but... Alright, project planning is the animation that is... no, not really animation, but the task quest that Mrs. Johnson has here for us to do. So we're going to do that. Alright, let's see what else... Who else is available or can be utilized here. Actually, Claus can do something too, but not fully. Also, yeah, so these characters are not here, but Claus, I think he also dropped something for us, because he has an animation that's brought back. If we check him out, if you remember clearly, he had an animation called, there it is, Jingle Bell Rock, it's back. Oh, yes. Yes, so that also helps you out too. So we could have Rockin' Santa for the rest. So it's this is going to be helpful for. But we're going to see more of that in the shop till you drop dead. But yeah, so that's about it. The next parts are going to be looking at these holiday stuff. However, before I begin, I wanted to show this off because I forgot to show this as one of the things, the Mayor Scary Pack. So this is what this one looks like. It's basically your kind of loading type of thing. And before I end it off, I might as well show you this. When the weekend came over, this was the request that came up, the first one, which is the second Scream. And the icon for the bottom there is interesting because I'll talk more about that later on in part 4. Exactly, I'm not sure about that. But yeah, for second Scream of Christmas, you can get that pretty easy, I think. So if you couldn't buy it through the bundles or packs, definitely that would have been an easy one to get. Most of these requests are basically going to be for getting the special scary screams, as they call them. I went in depth already with most of them here. But yeah, that's about it. I think that will be done for me. So I'll keep it at that. We're going to be continuing on with more of the Christmas stuff and feel the festivities as it goes on. So until then, I've been Grim, and I'll be seeing you next time with whatever Goosebumps HorrorTown has for us in store. So, until then, get yourself ready because, well, the spirit of Christmas is about to come. Oh dear.